update, a huge update on our favorite interstellar object. It could be the biggest update in the solar system.
Something big just happened again. A new set of images from China's Tianwen-1 Mars orbiter dropped on November 6th, and they might change everything we thought we knew about our mysterious visitor, 3IATLAS. The comet's out there glowing an eerie blue, no big tail in sight, and the experts, they're scratching their heads again. So grab a coffee, settle in for a few minutes, and don't skip ahead, because by the end of this video, you'll see why Atlas might be rewriting the rulebook for how the universe sends us messages.
Before we dive in, quick reminder, if space mysteries are your jam, hit that subscribe button and stick around. Now let's get to it, because this new date is wild.
Alright, let's start simple. Atlas, officially C2025-N1, isn't just another icy rock. It's the third confirmed interstellar object we've ever seen, meaning it didn't come from our solar system. It's a traveler from somewhere else, cutting across our backyard on a one-way path back to the stars. It swung closest to the sun back around October 29th, about 126 miles out. Scientists think the core is roughly 1 to 3 miles wide, full of exotic ices that flare when sunlight hits. So far, so comet-like, right? But here's where things start to feel off. Normally, when a comet warms up, it releases tons of gas and dust, forming a tail. But Atlas, even now, after its closest pass to the sun, no big tail. The first clear post-perihelion shots, taken on November 5th by the RN Naves Observatory in Spain and Italy's Virtual Telescope, showed just a compact fuzzy core. No massive plume, no bright streaks stretching for millions of kilometers, and the color? A soft bluish glow. Not the dusty red or yellow we usually see. That's usually a sign of ionized gas, the kind you'd expect in auroras or lightning, not the usual cometary dust. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb pointed out that if Atlas really lost the kind of mass scientists calculate, something like 13% of its body, then we should see a huge tail, billions of tons of dust, easily visible. Instead, we've got this tight, glowing, oddly calm object. Now, the biggest headline came from China's space agency, the CNSA. Their Tianwen-1 Mars orbiter, which has been circling Mars since 2021, caught Atlas on October 3rd from 29 million kilometers away. The HIRIC camera, that's a 38.7 centimeter primary mirror, snapped a series of 30-second shots. They stitched them into an animation showing Atlas drifting through the Martian sky. You can see the nucleus, a faint halo stretching a few thousand kilometers, glowing bluish green. This is historic. It's the first time a Chinese spacecraft has imaged an interstellar object like this. And it couldn't have come at a better moment, since NASA's own sharper images from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter are still locked away during the US government shutdown. And here's where the human story kicks in. On social media, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna confirmed that NASA does see the same anomalies Loeb talked about, but due to bureaucratic reasons, those images can't be released yet. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of sentence that makes every space fan lean a little closer to the screen.
So, what's going on? Loeb's team ran the new astrometric data, positions, accelerations, brightness, and found non-gravitational acceleration. That means something besides gravity is pushing Atlas. Normally, that's gas venting off the surface, but again, no big tail. It's still moving in ways classical physics doesn't fully explain. The sideways push in its orbit has dropped to about a third of what it was before, but it's still statistically real. Here's the puzzle. To get that much acceleration, it'd need to throw off massive amounts of gas, billions of tons. But the images don't show that. Some are now considering whether Atlas might have directional jets, like tiny vents shooting material out in one direction, acting like microthrusters. Others think we're dealing with exotic chemistry, maybe compounds that vaporize differently than the water and carbon dioxide we know. Spectroscopy from Hubble and JWST has already spotted nickel vapor, carbon monoxide, and hydroxyl with an unusually high CO by H2O ratio. In simple terms, it's burning off more carbon gas than water. That's the opposite of what we expect.
Let's pause for a sec. When scientists see that mix, nickel and carbon monoxide dominating, iron almost missing, they raise an eyebrow. That's not typical for icy comets. It hints this thing might have formed in a very different solar system, around a star with different metallic chemistry. Polarization readings, basically how light scatters off dust, also show extreme negative polarization. That means its particles are large, porous, complex, nothing like the fluffy snowballs we're used to. All right, so here's where things stand. After everything we've seen, scientists are really circling around three possible explanations. First, it could still be natural, just a really unusual comet. Maybe it's got strange one-sided jets, or it's throwing material off way faster than anything we've seen before. Second, there's the idea of some unknown physical process, something non-thermal, not driven by heat, maybe internal energy, reactions we don't even fully understand yet. And then the wild card, the one everyone whispers about, but few will say out loud, that Atlas could be an artificial object. Unlikely, sure, but right now, the data doesn't let us rule it out either. And before we jump to sci-fi conclusions, remember this: every time we've found something that looks impossible out there, nature's turned out to be even stranger and smarter than we imagined. Now, here's where things get spicy. Over the last week, there have been shakeups inside U.S. Space Administration circles. Rumors swirled after the sudden replacement of NASA's administrator, right as new Atlas data was supposed to drop. Some call it coincidence, some call it strategy. But honestly, we don't need conspiracy theories. The science itself is already dramatic enough. And while America's on pause, China's filling in the silence. Their released animation of Atlas's path across Mars's sky isn't just pretty, it's valuable science. It shows brightness variations that could hint at rotation or controlled venting. Meanwhile, observatories around the world, from Italy to Spain, from Chile to Hawaii, are all locked on to Atlas, measuring its motion to milliarc-second precision. We're in one of those rare windows where every telescope, big and small, is chasing the same ghost.
So what's next? Over the next month, Atlas drifts into Virgo, visible in the early morning before sunrise. Magnitude around 12.5 now, maybe 10 by mid-December. Its closest approach to Earth comes on December 19th at a safe 167 million miles. NASA, ESA, and amateur astronomers will all be watching through January 2026, trying to see whether that faint blue coma expands or if Atlas just quietly slips back into the dark. There's even a virtual telescope live session scheduled for November 17th, showing it in real time. That'll be our first chance to see if anything's changed since the latest Chinese and European images.
So that's where things stand right now. Atlas isn't just some random comet, it's a real puzzle, and it's got the science teams buzzing. Maybe it's just a weird natural one, maybe it's something we haven't seen before. Either way, it's moving through our neighborhood right now, and every day we're learning a little more about what it's made of and where it came from. I'll be covering each new update as the data drops, so if you want to stay up to date without all the noise, go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on that bell. That way you'll know the moment the next Atlas images or readings come in.